My legacy as a head coach. Oof. I would say sorry. Before I was the head coach here, I was a player here in the 90s, and I had the opportunity to play for legendary Coach Bartzen.
We are very, very aware and conscious of the fact that gratitude, honesty, discipline are still today the core of our program, and those all go back to Tut Bartzen back in his day.
Oh my gosh, he was such a great coach and such a great person.
Coach Bartzen was very, very humble, very easygoing.
And even to this day, I think about his discipline, his routines, his attention to detail. That was something that always had a strong impact on me. Just as straight and narrow, honest person that you'd ever meet.
David Bowen and we have a lot of history. I went to TCU because of David Bowen.
I'd never been to TCU, never been on campus, but I knew about the program, I knew about Coach Bartzen, so I jumped on it, came out here, and loved it, absolutely loved it.
He was sort of always a good friend of mine. We both lived in Orange County at the time, and then he went to TCU, and he recruited me to come to TCU.
Things really took off for him here. He had a great relationship with Tut. And pretty quickly, he knew, I think, that he made the right choice.
I remember thinking back when I was a player, man, maybe someday I get to be the coach here.
That was, I think, always in his heart. And, you know, the rest is kind of history.
Coach Bartzen, there was a lot of continuity to what he built. He was around a lot. I would have Tuesdays with Tut. We would go to the tavern and have lunch every Tuesday and talk about the program, to follow in his footsteps. And do it with David Bowen, who also played at TCU, is very special and an honor and a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, a lot of fun. As a head coach, you're the face of the program, especially with my personality.
How about that, Frog Fans? How about that, huh? Big 12 chances.
You don't see a lot of tennis coaches wearing a cowboy hat, definitely not the Mexican tennis coach.
Roditi running around the court, taking his hat on and off, kind of screaming at the refs a little bit. It's iconic.
He has an energy like no one else that I've known. And then you have Devin, who's probably has the highest tennis IQ of anybody I've ever met.
It is definitely an opposites attract thing.
I think it works because it gives the players a choice in terms of whether they need David's passion and energy or they want someone a little more chill on the court.
He's sort of a mentor, sort of an older brother figure as well.
It's so funny because they always say how they're best friends with one another, but all I do is actually see them fight with one another. I kind of think they're just like an old married couple, but that usually is how best friends or relationships work.
We definitely push each other, test each other out, but you know, we love each other.
Being on court, he lets Devin just take over the show because Devin is the best college coach in the country. There's no doubt about that. And we would not be where we are today without him.
It would make more sense if he was a head coach and I was assistant, and then he could just tell me what to do all day.
We both bring different things to the program.
We have very different personalities.
I don't want to change that. I don't think it would be good for the team if we were just identical and in lockstep over everything.
I think they're actually like the perfect mix. I always like to say that I'm the fun one and he's not, but he's the discipline and I'm not. So it's a good combination. The Roditi Rule, it means having a broad view of our sport and where it fits into college athletics. TCU has been a pioneer in changing the environment at a college tennis match. As a player in the 90s, we had a great program and we had the same 3 fans at all the matches. When I got the job to come to TCU, that was the first priority, was how do we get 1,000 fans to a TCU tennis match?
It's traditionally such a mellow, calm sport.
We thought we'd just change that and basically allow our students and our fans to behave in the same way that they would behave at a basketball game or a baseball game or a football game.
And once David took over, the atmosphere is fun. When you drive up, there's a big tailgate, and then you walk in, and there's loud music playing while the guys are warming up.
I painted my body purple and wore a pair of shorts, and I was all purple, standing in the middle of campus, inviting people to our matches. So there's nothing we won't do to have you fans come out to a tennis match.
Here we are with all our diehard, our fans, our family, our Keep It in the Purple committee. Go Frogs!
Keep It in the Purple committee. They're sort of the engine behind all of it.
The Keep It in the Purple committee are incredible. We would not be the program and the culture we are today without their support in every single way.
The best part about college tennis for a tennis player is that your whole life you've been playing by yourself, and now you get to play with a bunch of your buddies.
Everyone on our team is from a different country.
I'm from Mallorca, Spain. We actually don't get to play any team matches back in Europe, so everything was so different when I came here. But I love it.
Grew up playing tennis is a big part of my life. Came to TCU just as a regular student, absolutely loved it, but realized that I feel like I missed out on an opportunity to play tennis. So basically for the whole second half of my freshman year, I was just hounding Coach Roditi, like, please, can you give me an opportunity to try out? Gave me a tryout, went out there, got crushed by pretty much every single player, but they loved my attitude and gave me a chance as a walk-on athlete. I'm nowhere near as good of a tennis player as everyone else on the team, and Coach Roditi would definitely say that as well.
The worst player on our national team was Luke Swan, yet our most valuable.
He's not a traditional recruit. That's true. We recruited Luke because of what a sensational person he is.
He knows that by me emphasizing how his value is not on the tennis court, how amazingly valuable he is as a person.
He knows I can get the best out of every single player. I might not be able to beat the number 1 player on the opposite team, but I can find a way to show how our number 1 player can beat him.
People love being around him, and he's a phenomenal mentor. And so we thought that for our program that we needed somebody like that.
What do you want to be, a great tennis player or a great person? I'll take great person any day.
Luke did a great job of kind of showing everybody there's more to life than tennis.
Coach Roditi, he told me at the end of our last season, he said, Luke is the
glue that helped us go from possibly winning the NCAAs to actually winning the NCAAs.
I think 2024 was our year because we just had so much fun. We knew the amount of effort and the amount of truly hard work we put in that season. Whilst enjoying all of it, it was our time.
We've always been an underdog. I think people just, even this year, were never really putting us as the top team, the favorite.
People were holding it against us that we had good teams and we could not quite get it. Oh, you won the indoors again, but you can't win the outdoors. You can't win the main one.
The truth of the matter is it's just very hard to do. Things have to come together at the right time.
I couldn't imagine a world where that team didn't end up winning because it just felt right. Championship moment. I don't think you get more dramatic in sports.
Watching them, sweat and suffer for all these years and to get so close and to have it come down to one match.
And then that last moment of Seb winning was just incredible. Seeing him just jump into my arm specifically, but we were all there together.
I've been, Terry, thinking about it. Every emotion came out because you've just been waiting and wanting this to happen for these guys for so long.
I'm just standing there, just watching it all in front of my eyes and not really kind of sinking in what we had done.
I remember the feeling when we lost in the Final Four my senior year, just knowing that that was it. We never did it. That feeling of, oh man, we didn't do it was gut-wrenching. So therefore, 30 years later, for us to be able to do it, it was pretty special.
Down to the coaches or to the players playing or the guys supporting and even the crowd out there. Everyone did their job, and that's the reason we ended up coming away as national champions.
We've been really close for a lot of years. Finally putting that on the books completes the whole program.
Just once in a lifetime, and you'll never get something like that again. I'm just so grateful I got to do it with all my best friends.
My legacy as a head coach, the titles are great, but it's about the people, the guys. I believe that when you die, you take your word. That's all you got. There's no house, there's no trophy. Nobody's going to bury you with a trophy. That'll be awful. But you take your word, and that our guys felt that my word was as good as it could be, that they could never question that.